A memorial service for United Nations peacekeepers killed in South Sudan. They died trying to carry out their mandate to protect civilians, but were unable to protect themselves. The bodies of the two Indian peacekeepers were flown to the capital Juba from Akobo. They were with about 90 other people inside a small UN base when they were attacked by 2,000 armed youth from the Nuer tribe. Several civilians were also killed. The compound is now empty. Staff from the United Nations and other international groups were evacuated by UN troops, but there's little information about the local South Sudanese who were there seeking refuge.
Now we were only with 43 peacekeepers. They were trying to protect the civilians that were under threat in this area. We had around 30 civilians there. This attack happened like a frontal attack on the base itself. The two peacekeepers that were killed, unfortunately, were killed in action in protecting and trying to prevent the entry into the camp.
An estimated 35,000 civilians are now sheltering in UN bases across South Sudan. There are currently 4,000 United Nations soldiers in the world's newest country, but with the violence spreading, staff there claim it's nowhere near enough.
In the smallest bases, if we face those numbers of attackers, there's no way any military contingent consisting of 43 or 2 platoons could manage that. It's just not possible.
However, the UN Secretary General's office says increasing the size of the peacekeeping force is not the solution.
Ultimately, that is not the solution. That cannot prevent further violence if there's so many armed groups, so many different peoples of different ethnic origin trying to attack each other. Ultimately, what has to happen is the fighting has to stop. There has to be a political solution.
But for a political solution to emerge, the president's opponents say he must first release all of those arrested and accused of plotting a coup.
If we can't try to bring the men who are known in history to have taken care of the country, the men who are being detained at the moment, including the SPLM Secretary General and the rest, people who have good credibility within the country, SPLM members, we have a lot at stake. We need to release them. We need to get them to the table.
But unless both sides meet for peace talks, the threat of a much wider conflict is very real. Jamal, Elshayal, Al Jazeera.